Hey, namaste, this is Sacredowl with another chapter of Real Talk by Sacredowl. Sometimes we go day to day wondering why people treat us a certain way or why we tend to feel disrespected in some levels. And that comes to the fact that we attract that energy to us. I'm a proponent of in a deep belief that what we experience is what we attracted at some level. And so when you have people who are disrespectful to you or maybe disrespecting you, it's because maybe you're doing that to yourself first and they're just bringing in the energy that you already started. So I have like 10, 11 things that I may suggest that may help you to not get out of the practice, or to get out of the practice of disrespecting yourself. One of the things that I suggest you don't do is that stop saying yes to things that are not important to you or that you don't have time for. So when people come and ask you, can you do me a favor? It's okay to say no. It's okay to not do that, because when you say yes and you feel over obligated, now you've done a level of disrespect to yourself and you're not considering who's more important here. You're considering other people and other people's needs over your own. And that's something I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Number two, you present yourself as something that you're not in order to gain favor. So if you're a person, if like, you have those people out there that just like to boast about themselves, but they present themselves as something that they're not in order to gain favor. So in other words, they say they do this, they say they do that. And in the work atmosphere, when you have a person who does that, everybody kind of looks at him like a fool, because he's like, well, we know you don't do all that. And no, so you're presenting yourself as a person who does something that you don't really do, and that is another form of disrespecting yourself. Number three, you often agree with what somebody says only because you don't want to offend them. Listen, the beauty in life is contrast, night and day, light, darker. And that contrast brings things out. In music, a silent tone is as important as hitting a note, because the silence brings a contrast when the note comes out. And when the note comes out, it brings a contrast to the silence, so the music sounds appealing. So just because you don't want to offend somebody, that means you're compromising who you are and yourself. Speak your mind. Life is full of challenges, and contrast is a beautiful thing. Number four, by putting needs of others ahead of your own needs. And that goes along with what I'm saying about saying yes to things. Stop putting other people's needs ahead of yours, because if you do that, you're disrespecting yourself. Let me tell you something. And who's accountable for that when you start to disrespect yourself? Only you. You have to be accountable to yourself. Number five, when you feel guilty for doing what is right for you, even if it goes against your intuition and advice you may have, the advice you may have received. So there's things out there that your gut tells you, hey, I really shouldn't do that, or I really should do that. Really, don't do things against your own intuition. Don't do things that don't feel right, because if they don't feel right to yourself, you have just disregarded yourself. And so don't complain when other people do that to you. Number six, do not defend yourself by setting the record straight. Let me say that right. Defend yourself by setting the record straight. Speak up. If somebody has something that's misunderstood, speak up. But then on the other hand, to create a balance between that, do not over-explain yourself. Do not offer explanations to people if you don't have to. Finding the balance between speaking up and setting the record straight, not offering explanations when you do not have to. That's really important, because if you do that, then you're disrespecting yourself. Number seven, hiding your feelings. When somebody asks you what's going on, or if you feel upset or you're annoyed and you don't want to inconvenience somebody, you're hiding your feelings. And when somebody knows that something's wrong with you and you tell them no, you're not telling the truth. It's really not telling the truth. Stop hiding your feelings. Of course, pick the right time to share those feelings, but if they ask you, they want to know, tell them. Stop hiding your feelings. It's okay to tell people how you feel, because that's honoring how you feel. Number eight, you constantly are looking for approval or for attention from other people. Always overly seeking attention or wanting approval or wanting that. Let me tell you something. Stop begging. Stop begging. Stop begging for people's attention. Stop begging for people's time. If they don't want to spend time with you, or they don't want to give you your time, then stop begging. You're not a child. Children could do that, and that's okay, because that's their right to do. But as you get older, stop asking people to give you a time and attention, because it makes you look disrespected. Number nine, you constantly are trying to make other people happy, essentially becoming their doormat. I don't know. I'm not into being a doormat. I'm into being my own person. So I don't let people disrespect me by allowing them to step all over me. It's really important that you keep that in mind so that way you don't feel less than yourself. And the last point, number 10, stop hanging with people. Stop being around people or having people around you that do not go with your flow. You have a certain flow and you got a certain feeling. It's okay to not have friends. Sometimes being a hermit is really good. It's a lot to learn. In the tarot system, the hermit card is a place where you gain a lot of knowledge. Now, are you going to be alone for the rest of your life? Absolutely not. There's 8 billion people on the earth. But the thing is maybe the few that you're around are not one who are flowing with you. So cut the flow. Allow them to go away. Lose them. And gain your respect back. It's all about you and your respect. Hey, I love you. I hope these tips helped you. This is Sacredowl. Have a great day. Peace.